Hello, Longhorns. Today we are discussing angle sums in triangles, covering both interior and exterior angles. I'm going to get rid of this little guy right here. Okay, so first we're going to talk about interior angles. The sum in interior angles in a triangle is always equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so let's look at these two examples that we have. First, we have 55 degrees and 70 degrees. So we can add those two up together. 70 plus 55 is equal to 125, right? So a little plus. And now we take that sum away from 180. So I'm going to put it on this side. 180 minus 125 is equal to 10. You can do this in the calculator if you want to. If not, that's a 7. You can do it by hand. But it's 55 degrees. Okay, that's a 5. I'll make it nice and big so you can see it. 55. All right. Now, let's look at the other triangle. We have 80 and 39. So I'm going to add those two together. 80 plus 39 is equal to 119. And then I'm going to do the same thing like last time. I'm going to take 180 degrees, because that's the sum of all my interior angles, minus 119. And I'm going to be left with 61. So this angle right here is 61. All right? Let's look at another example. Okay, this one we're going to mix in some algebra with it. We need to solve for x. See? All right. So let's start with what they give us. We have x plus 52. We have 75 up top. And then we have 67 plus x over here. So I'm going to start writing my equation by setting everything equal to 180. And I'm going to start over here on the left-hand side. So I'm going to do x plus 52. And then I'm going to go up top to 75. 75 plus 67 plus x is equal to 180. So I'm going to combine like terms. So first I'm going to work on the x's, because those are nice and easy. I have two of them, so I have 2x. Then I have 52 plus 75 plus 67. You can put that in your calculator if you want to. You can do it by hand. It comes out to 194. It's all equal to 180. So now I'm going to take 194 on both sides. So I'm left with 2x is equal to negative 14, which if I divide both sides by 2, I'm running out of room. So I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to say x is equal to negative 7. Okay? Now, remember, if we plug this back in, our x is equal to negative 7. So let's try it right here with this example. So if we say negative 7 plus 52, what is that equal to? That is equal to 45. And if we do the same thing over here, we have 67 minus 70 is equal to 60. So we can add all three of our angles up together. 75 plus 45 plus 60 is equal to 180. All right? So it checks out. Let's do this other side over here. So we have 48, 11x minus 5, and we have 9x minus 3. All right, so let's set up our equation, everything equal to 180. 9x minus 3. Make sure we get our positive and negative signs right. 11x minus 5 plus 48x is equal to 180. All right, so let's combine like terms. We have 9 and 11 is 20. That's 20x. We have minus 3 and minus 5, so that's minus 8. And I have a positive 48, so that leaves me with positive 40. 180. So I'm going to take 40 from both sides. So I'm left with 20x is equal to 140. So if I divide both sides by 20, I'm left with x is equal to 7. I don't need to plug that one back in. It shows you. We did that in the last one. So let's move on to our next one. So exterior angle theorem. So exterior angle theorem tells us if an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of two remote interior angles. I'm going to write this underneath. Okay? What does the word remote mean? If you think of somebody who lives in a remote area, that means they live far away, usually far away from civilization. But in this case, it just means everything's far. So when we're talking about this, when we're referring to angles, if we're trying to find this exterior angle, and this is exterior right here, so we can tell, the two remote interior angles will be these two. They're not adjacent to it. They're on the opposite side, so they're remote, and they're both interior, so they're remote interior angles. So we sum these two up, so it would be 80 plus 25, that equals to 105. So our question mark angle is equal to 105 degrees. Okay, let's look at this one. Now here's our exterior angle right here. It's equal to 115. This one's a little different. They told us the angle. So let's look at our remote. It is this guy over here and this one over here, not the other side, not the one adjacent to it. So now we know that angle U and angle V equal to 115. So we set 115 is equal to V, and I'm just going to call this X plus X. So I'm going to get rid of the 50 on both sides. So I am left with 65. So X is equal to 65. All right? I'm going to put that right here. Okay? Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Here's our exterior angle right here. So it is 8 plus 6x, and our two remote interior angles are right here, 30 degrees and 4x plus 2. So let's set those equal to each other. All right? So I'm going to start off over here. 8 plus 6x is equal to 30 plus 4x plus 2. Okay? So I'm going to move 4 over first. I like dealing with my x's. Right? So I'm left with 8 plus 2x is equal to 30. And I'm going to combine these two while I'm doing that. 30 plus 2 is 32. All right, so I got one more thing to move. From my minus 8. So I'm left with 2x is equal to 24. And x, if I divide both sides by 2, is equal to 12. So x is equal to 12. Okay, if you're an academic, you can stop now. If you're in pre-AP, go on and stay on, and we'll work one more example. Okay, so let's look at this one. This one we need to solve for x, y, and z. Now be careful when you have problems like this. Make sure that you solve for all three variables they ask you to. Sometimes we forget and we just solve for one. So let's start with x first. So x is right here. So what do we know about this triangle right here? I'm going to make him blue. That all three of those angles equal to 180. So I'm going to work with this one first and get x. So I'm going to start at the bottom. So I'm going to say 59 plus 43 plus x is equal to 180. Okay, so I combine. So 59 plus 43 is equal to 102 plus x is equal to 180. 102. So we're going to move this to the other side. 102. So now we're left with x is equal to 78. Okay, so we got the first one. I'll put a little check mark. I like to check things out. Okay, so now let's look at angle y. Let me change my color. Now, what do we know about angle x and y, the relationship? So those form a linear pair. So x plus y angle equal to 180. Well, we just found out x was equal to 78, so we're going to plug that in. Plus y is equal to 180. So I'm going to take away the 78 on both sides, so y is equal to 102. All right, so we got this one. Last one. So we're going to do z. So we can do that by highlighting this triangle, right? So we found y, so let's start with y first, right here. So 102 plus 49 plus z is equal to 180. So I'm going to combine 102 and 49. Well, that equals 151 plus c is equal to 180. Now let's move our 151 to the other side. So we're left with z is equal to 29. Right? And so we ticked off all three of our variables and made sure we got them all. Okay? That's it for today, Longhorns. Have a great day.